do it.
Oh, Wiggy, what's up to everybody out there? It is the Sneaks and Stats podcast, episode 48. I am Sneaker Peter.
You like that?
Yeah, that's us.
That makes me the Statty Daddy. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful Monday morning, just before the NBA Finals kick off. We're getting close.
It's the final countdown.
You know what? I don't know that in my lifetime they've ever used that song. And I know it's not like a countdown, but they're the only professional sports league where the championship is called the Finals.
Yeah.
Super Bowl, Stanley Cup, World Series.
Yes.
All the other like soccer ones are cups.
That's true.
You would think that they would use it, but whatever.
Copyright?
Yeah,
Maybe.
Too expensive for the NBA. I got one for you here for 48.
I have some too. Go ahead. What you got?
You have some? I'm surprised you found any, to be honest. I found two. Basketball Reference told me there's been two players ever
Okay,
to
well,
have worn 48.
Oh, well, I have
in the
other
NBA.
sports. Other sports.
Get out of here. This is not cleats and stats.
Well, who do you have?
I have Walt Gilmore, who played 27 total games in the NBA for the 1970-1971 Portland Trail Blazers.
Okay.
Shout out, Walt. And then someone that we have talked about before, Nazi Muhammad, wore it for 3 years on the Bulls in like 2017 to 2019.
NBA champion.
Is he an NBA champion?
With the Spurs.
Nazi Muhammad was
Yes.
on the 2014 Spurs.
Yes.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Crazy.
Also 48? Yuck.
Yuck.
What a yucky number. I have Jacob deGrom from the Mets.
Okay.
He's pretty good
Yep.
pitcher. Torrey Hunter, who's also a legend. Pablo Sandoval from the Giants. Yucky. And Dodger legend Eric Gagne was 48.
Lot more 48s in baseball. I guess they've had more time to use all the numbers.
Yes.
The longest professional sports league in North America.
Yeah, and then
So-
and they go all the way. They really do use all of them. Like there's a 99, there's up to 99. Some uses more,
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So.
They use them all.
But first and foremost, please like and subscribe and comment on our videos on our YouTube channel. Please follow us on our social media: Instagram, TikTok, X, and Threads. 48 of them things, Julie.
48 of the things
That we
keep
do
it on me
every Monday.
every Monday. Always. Yeah, we're getting close to that big old 50 mark. Pretty crazy.
Pretty cool.
We got the second camera on deck. What up over there, party people? That's the party section. If you're watching from over there, which you only do it if I force you to do in the editing process, you're in the party section.
You're in the party section. Puerto Rico. What? I don't know what that was.
Where's Puerto? Is Puerto Rico that way?
Is that way? We were just talking about it. This summer is producing a lot of shoes that we will not be able to buy all of them, but
No.
a lot of cool stuff coming out.
We want to.
We hopefully
we'd like
will
to
eventually.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I still have never purchased a pair from a reseller site. I've never gone to StockX or eBay or Goat, and I've never bought a used pair of shoes yet. So I'm wondering if there's going to be a pair that I'm really going to be like, oh, I really need those.
Yeah.
They're not on new releases today, but they just announced a Navajo Nation pair of Nike. It's a pack. There's the Dunk and the Blazer.
The Blazer High, yep.
And the Dunk especially. Oh man, it looks good. I think it's coming out on sneakers. I think June 4th, I believe, or early June. I think 180 for the one pair.
Yeah.
So those are really nice. There was another pair we were talking about. We just missed out on those Sporty and Rich Adidas. Those were really nice. Those sold out almost
sick.
instantly.
Shout out Emily Oberg. Also, Mr. or Mrs. Wales Bonner is also coming out with a bunch of pairs with cool boxes and all this stuff. One of your favorite designers.
Yes, easily.
Yeah, and there's now he has 70,000 pairs.
Adidas said, you make all of our shoes
Make
now.
all of them now, please.
Yeah, lots of cool stuff coming out. The girl dad Mambas.
Oh my
Those
goodness
joints.
gracious!
They're like emerald green.
Yeah,
Those
with like a metallic silver.
Yes, so nice. There's a lot of really cool shoes coming out.
Yes. And like we said, the NBA is down to the final 2 teams.
Celtics and Mavs, baby.
As LA guys, as long as it's not the Celtics, do we agree? We agree on that.
Oh, easily, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we both really like Tatum as a player, especially Jaylen Brown as well. It's tough, like when you like the players on the Celtics, this is pretty much the first time I've ever liked any player on the Celtics.
True.
I hated Paul Pierce. Eventually, I was forced to hate KG and Ray Allen.
And Rondo.
Rondo. I mean, eventually, I guess, he came around.
Gave us a ring.
Yeah. Even those Isaiah Thomas teams, I was like, this guy is whatever.
Nope.
No. So even though, I still hate the Celtics, so therefore I don't like JT, but like I kind of do. And he's pretty sick.
And part of the reason why we like him too is he idolized Kobe. So
yes.
It's like his favorite player of all time. Lots of cool storylines too, I think. Porzingis against his old team.
Yep. If he can come back, I think he's more or less ready to come back.
I think so too.
But
yeah. Kyrie against his old team, and we know his history
Boston
with this.
Hates Kyrie.
They can't stand that guy.
Kyrie is coming out with a new colorway of his Kai 1 for the finals. It's like a golden looking pair, kind of yellowish gold, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Of course, another storyline is Luka's injuries. He's been beat up all playoffs, so hopefully with roughly a week off, he can get some rest.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's lots, and of course, as we mentioned last time, a new one of the star players on the team is going to come away with like their first ever championship, whether it be Tatum and Brown or Luka. So there's some cool stuff going to happen in this.
Personally,
finals.
I love to see that because when I started watching basketball, Michael Jordan was reeling off all these championships in a row, and it's
back to back.
Yeah, same thing like with like the Patriots. They were reeling off all these. Tom Brady's reeling off all these championships.
Lakers, well, that's okay. We like that.
That's fine when it's the Lakers, but when it's the other, when it's not your team, and you can't help to feel that, right?
Yeah,
Like oh god, somebody beat that team.
Never seen before parity in the NBA right now.
Yeah,
it's gonna be. I think we said six different champions in a row. Unheard of. So pretty crazy.
You know what I like too? You brought it up maybe 2 episodes ago. You said, the Lakers don't necessarily need a third star, right? And then the topic came up in a lot of podcasts and stuff saying these 3-headed monster teams aren't necessarily really working anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Nuggets are a good team, and they have kind of 2 stars with really good role players. You look at the Mavs now. Celtics even really. I mean, if you want to count Porzingis as an all-star, but
the Celtics.
It's back to the duos kind of.
The Celtics are kind of on another level though. They have like
their team is stacked.
Almost a 5 all-star lineup.
Yeah.
Like that Drew Holiday trade.
Perfect.
It's gonna be the Mavs are gonna have a tough time beating them. But you are right. The era of the duos has been around since KD left the Warriors. You know, and although the Clippers have a power trio, but obviously that didn't really work. I mean, it became a power duo because Kawhi has been so injured. But I think mainly what it was is that you had the Heatles and these big threes, and the Celtics big three. The Lakers had 3 all-star level guys at that time, and the Thunder had 3 future MVPs on their team altogether.
Yep.
You had these big threes, and it kind of worked for a little bit. Obviously the Heat rattled off 2 in a row, so that's pretty good. 4 straight finals appearances for them. But I think the rest of the talent of the league kind of caught up to where now, but the pay scale was not there. So if you were paying 3 stars, you couldn't get your Danny Greens, your Kyle Korvers, your guys that are going to make impactful plays, even if they're not the star.
Harder to round out the roster.
So if you're paying LeBron, Bosh, and D Wade, or in Cleveland even LeBron, Kevin Love, and Kyrie, it's just not. You're not going to have enough ammo left after that. And even though having 3 guys like that is insanely good, we haven't seen it work in a while. You know, the
Very
Nets, even though again injuries, the Nets ended up falling apart. The Clippers, obviously, this year, another injury-riddled team that
Suns
couldn't do it. The Suns, yeah, you would think that just, I don't know. To me, I kind of felt like that was doomed from the start.
Yeah.
But same problem though. Not enough in the barrel.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting.
Pretty interesting for sure. But what you said earlier was the finals brings up these colorways of shoes that are just for the finals and stuff like that. So this is gonna be throughout these next few episodes. We're gonna see what the players wear. Like Tatum is for sure gonna wear finals of his new shoe.
Tatum's been interesting. He's been wearing some of the WNBA PEs of his shoe, which we have one coming up. But it is cool that he's wearing like other players' PEs. That's a nice. I think it's a cool touch. But it should be interesting because you got the two kind of Jordan, current player headliners going head to head in Luka and Tatum. So it'll be interesting to see what Jordan Brand pulls out for the finals, especially. And
then the two guys, Luka or Kyrie and Jaylen Brown, who are kind of
anti-Nike. They're gonna team up and be like, "Hey man, I hate Nike.
Let's pick it outside." But yeah, like you said, Jason Tatum, not just him, but a lot of players are wearing the WNBA player PE colorways too. So I love the connection there.
The synergy, yeah.
Yes.
Very cool, and especially with the WNBA getting more attention than ever, including from this podcast, as you'll see again coming up.
Can't help it. They're playing well, and they're wearing some fire.
They got some cool stuff. I think it was the Jewel Lloyd. She got a PE of the GT cut, I think, and it's like that purple one, and it's got like I think it was Jewel Lloyd, and it's got like the faces on it and stuff.
Oh, those are sick.
Those are pretty nice. They got the smiley faces with the check for the smile. Yeah, pretty cool.
I love those. Well, that GT cut, was that the GT cut?
GT Cut 3.
All the GT cuts were nice. We started talking about those from the one and when they even came out.
They're really rolling them out now for their up and coming athletes. Like Wemby just got his. I'm pretty sure it was a GT Cut 3, and his logo is great. It's the alien logo, and it kind of came in like a black and like a alien green.
The green, yeah.
Yeah, that was a cool colorway, I think.
Yeah, super cool. We talked about Sabrina having her own GT cut while her shoe was being made still. Yep. So that's another huge shoe. Another
really big shoe for Nike right now, for sure. Should we jump into some new releases?
I mean, we can.
Yeah, only if
you want to.
Unless.
Is it okay, guys?
Guys?
Is that all right with you guys?
Party corner? What do you
Party corner.
You guys approve?
Hey, tone it down over there.
It's way too loud. All right, let's get into it. And you sent me this first pair. Unfortunately, as far as I know, no one that listens to the podcast will be able to get this pair because it is a friends and family edition of the Nike SB Dunk High Oski,
yeah.
Yeah.
I brought this pair up just because I wanted to go a little more. Obviously, it's a Nike and it's a Dunk. We talk about those a lot, but a little more obscure because of the swoosh mostly.
And I was gonna say, it's like I don't. Obviously you are the shoe master, but since we've been doing this, I don't think I've seen a pair of Nikes where the swoosh is not like a Nike check. Like,
and how do you feel?
Dope.
It's
although I'll say so
when
I was looking this up, I like I mentioned, this is a friends and family pair. It's kind of a follow up to his 2019 pair that was a black, still with the shark for the Nike Dunk High.
Yes.
And then 2022, I think it was, he had the white pair, the Great White Shark.
So cool.
I do think I like both of those better. Although these are cool. Like they'll
you
pop.
Don't have it.
Yeah. But yeah, these are cool. Do you have any more information on these?
I do. His name is.
Don't tell me. I don't want to know.
Okay. Next shoe. He's a pro skater.
Swedish skater, I think.
From Sweden, yes.
Maybe Norway. I'm not sure. One of the Scandinavian countries.
He's from Malmo, Sweden. His name is Oskar Rosenberg. His whole name is
Oski.
Oskar Rosenberg Hillberg. Those pairs that came out, that's when he started skating for Nike SB.
Oh, okay.
He also skated in the 2020 Summer Olympics in Tokyo for Team Sweden. He got 17th place. He's a really known skater around the world. He also came out with a dunk low that I know you would like. It's like a...
You don't know me.
Panda. It's a panda.
Oh, a panda.
I didn't know
my
you.
favorite.
It's a panda. No, but it's a panda colorway, but the materials are insane.
You do know I'm a sucker for the materials.
Yeah.
There's a Jordan 1 low right now, and that I think it's mostly just white with green accents, but the green is like kind of suede or
I think I've seen those.
like maybe like I can't think of the word. It's not quite suede, but it's just kind of thicker. It's almost like a carpet or something material. And I'm like, those are really nice.
Why?
The colorway's not crazy, but like the materials look so cool.
Yeah. Just buy it, dude.
Just do it.
Just
We'll leave my
Nike.
Venmo link down below. Thank Party Corner.
Cash.
Do your
Cash
thing.
app. Cash app. But yeah, he's a well-known skater. I was looking up the Olympics in Paris because skateboarding will be part of the games this year. But they're still doing qualifying, so I'm not too sure if he is in the tournament just yet.
Gabby Douglas, the gymnast who was like really popping off for the 2012 Olympics for the U.S. team.
Yeah.
She was trying to make a comeback, but I guess she would have been the oldest U.S. female gymnast to participate in the Olympics at 28. She had an ankle injury during the qualifiers and is no longer going to be able to make it for the Olympics. So
that sucks.
That's a bummer.
That is a bummer.
Also, I've been seeing ads for the Olympics, and breakdancing is an Olympic sport.
Yes.
Which is a little crazy.
Cool. Do you know if it's connected at all with Red Bull?
I mean, I don't know if the Olympic does sponsorships, but I'm sure Red Bull's going to be sponsoring a lot of whoever that is going. But I don't know what you think about this, because I do get that breakdancing is like maybe the most athletic dance style.
Yeah.
But like, okay, then why not include like ballroom dancing? And it just, I like, it seems if you're going to do one style of dance, you'd kind of have to do the others, which seems, I think that would actually be a kind of interesting addition.
I feel like it would be sick because it's almost like
dancing contests are pretty popular.
Figure skating, you know?
Yeah,
they're dancing.
That's true. Yeah,
you know, as this guy who used to break dance.
Oh, he still does.
I just break my bones.
Yep, all of them
by working out. But I like seeing it in the Olympics. I think it's definitely they're competitive because they battle against each other on these crews one-on-one. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure they've spoken about that, and why not add competitive dancing in there somewhere? You know?
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I think
that'd be cool.
Wouldn't be bad.
We'll pitch it to them.
Friends and family Oskis.
One of the few shoes that Nike has dropped ever, where the designer shoes came out. And then the friends and family pair came years after. Yeah. Kind of weird, right?
So I'm wondering if this is teasing like maybe another dunk
which
coming
is what
up.
They brought up. That he might be having this and the actual pair that's going to release to the public come out during the Olympics.
That's got to be it. That would make a lot of sense.
Could be.
Very cool pair. Too bad no one will ever get them.
Yeah, you better befriend him now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hey, man. How's it going? We're friends and/or family, right?
Yeah. And also a kind of a tribute to all the SB heads out there. If you guys remember the Mork and Mindy dunks, they looked exactly like this.
That's cool.
Super sick pair.
Shout out Robin Williams.
Yes.
Next up, you sent me a collab that's been popping off for a while, I'd say.
Yeah.
Been very lucrative for New Balance. It is the released today, as of recording, Friday the 31st. Action Bronson and New Balance 1609R, the Rosewater.
Yes.
They're calling it. Action Bronson's earlier pairs, I wasn't crazy over. And like I really like Amine, and he had a pair as well that I also wasn't too crazy over. These are nice. They're a little, obviously they pop and they're kind of all over the place, but I actually like how they came out.
If you guys know Action Bronson, Mr. Bam Bam Baklava himself.
Yep.
Really funny, intense.
I'm in the kitchen.
Dude. Yeah.
I love to eat.
Yeah. I like his. I like his music. Good. He's good. You don't like his music?
Which is funny because someone brought up. I was talking to a coworker and they're like, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I don't like his voice that much. And they're like, well, do you like Ghostface Killer? I'm like, oh, you have a good point there.
That's true. I do. That's true.
Yeah.
Remember they had beef.
Oh, I didn't know that. They were because they were rapping as each other.
Yeah.
Hey, this Ghostface Killer,
Stop
definitely not Action Bronson, Bronsolino.
They very, very similar styles.
Yeah. Every a hit here or there. Stuff with Chance the Rapper I usually like.
Yeah.
They've had a few songs together, but I'm not the biggest fan.
I mean, I love his name.
It's a sick name.
But I like he definitely has some hits that I like. But when he started collabing with New Balance, I always thought the colors he made were for the culture and kind of like contributing to what the trends are. So I always thought he killed it pretty well. 2 reasons why he made this colorway. The short version is a tribute to all the women's running shoe colorways. If you notice, just on the street, they're all super crazy with like a basic outfit. Right?
Yes, yeah.
No matter what the running shoe is, Hoka's have crazy colorways.
Yeah.
All these other colors. So a tribute to that. But he also got very intricate with it. He's like, when you see a rose petal and there's water on the rose petal, like those drips, that is like the most purest form of water. So kind of a tribute to that as well. Roses.
All right. We love roses, dude. Even though they smell like poo.
I don't forgot the lyrics. That is Andre 30,000.
It's not 2,999.
Add one more. He is. These are they said they came out already by the time you watch this on the 31st for $170.
Yep, a Rooney.
And he also has 2 other colorways coming out in this model, specific model, the Scorpius colorway and the Medusa Azul. And it comes with a cool orange mesh bag. They will be releasing on New Balance and his personal website. I'm
sure they're all gone.
Yes.
Very likely.
Like in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And some other cool collabs with this specific model. There's a Kith model. Salaheh Bembry. Shout out Salaheh Bembry. So, a very nice model. Yeah. I like it. It's a good for me, it's a nice everyday shoe, but you can also, drip out, swag out.
You can swag out all over the place.
Look at my running shoes.
Yes, I run. All right, and last up for the new releases, I said it was a surprise, but you actually brought it up.
Oh, did I?
Yes.
Sorry.
The newest Wales Bonner collab with Adidas. And I thought they're a little more simple than I think the last pairs we've covered, where they got the big old flapped over tongue and stuff. And
like the ostrich hair and
stuff. All the crazy stuff. But what I thought was cool is that on Adidas's website, they say that this is a supplier color. So I'm wondering if this is not a color of material that Adidas would normally produce. That Wales Bonner maybe has worked out for a lot of their other stuff. Yeah. So pretty cool. There's one more pair that came out as well. Almost like the opposite. It's a white body with blue accents and just a hair of like cream. Not really as much brown, but I thought this was a cool pair.
Super nice pair.
This is my fancy. We're going to eat tea. We're going to have tea in the garden.
In the garden.
Love.
At Houston's.
At Houston's. Change my
That's
accent.
Good. Okay, favorite part of this shoe. 1, 2, 3.
The laces.
The tongue's dope too.
You know what I've liked that's been pretty consistent with all the. This is I think the 3rd time we've had a Wales Bonner pair on new releases. The satin lining.
And
pretty sick.
You feel it, how smooth it is when you go. Yeah.
Don't wear socks with these.
No.
Gross.
No, you want to wear socks.
You want to wear some socks.
Yeah, satin liner is sick. Stitching on the back, super cool.
Gum sole.
This looks like a really intense like alligator skin leather or something.
It's really textured, yeah.
Super textured. The tongue, the same with this cool stitching on top. But you can't beat the fat hiking laces, man.
And I think too, I like the touches of like how Adidas has been doing this for a lot of their collabs, where instead of just writing Samba like they normally do, it says Wales Bonner there, Wales Bonner branding up there.
Or the collab that they're doing.
Yeah,
right?
It's like on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle pairs that we covered that said Shelto instead of Superstar.
The Bob Marley's.
Yes.
It says something on the side.
Yeah.
It's like his birthday, his year or something.
Yeah.
Year he was born.
Cool
pair, bro.
Yeah.
Good, nice comparison to the brown basketball shoe we had last episode that you did not like.
This is better because this is not an athletic shoe. This is a fancy. I'm gonna go golf and I'm gonna wear goofy clothes and
that old school, old school golfer.
Or I'm on my yacht. I mean, you wouldn't want to wear these on the yacht, but you know what
shorts
I mean.
Or pants.
Pants, but like dress pants. I don't think I'd wear these with jeans.
Yeah,
it'd have to be like a cream or tan colored pant.
Yes, very good.
$180 for these bad boys, so they're pretty pricey.
Whoa.
They came out within the last few weeks, but still some in stock for both pairs. This pair is selling out a little bit faster, so if you guys are interested, I would check it out as soon as possible.
I'm surprised they didn't do a confirmed drop on this.
No, I don't have the confirmed app. And I know they've had some stuff recently. There was one pair that came out through confirmed recently that was a pretty cool pair. I can't remember off the top of my head what it was. We talked about these, but the Inter Miami Messi Samba pack recently released, and those were wiped out very quickly.
Those are the what is it? I think it's the Samba or the Gazelle
I think it's a Samba. I think there was a Gazelle that recently released for something else through confirmed though.
Yeah,
that was pretty tight, but I have to check my sources.
Yes, and that Messi one was a bunch of shoes. So.
Yes, yeah. There's been a few Messi like Adidas that have come out recently, but this was like the one pair is pink with black stripes and the other pair is black with pink stripes. So
sick.
Yeah, they ran their course and are all gone already. Mm-hmm. But yes, that's the Wales Bonner Adidas Samba again.
Very pretty.
Third time we featured it, and I'm sure there will be more to come. This has seemingly been a pretty lucrative collab for Adidas, so very cool.
I would expect more pairs too. They are killing it.
Yes, I one day I will get a pair.
Oh well.
Hater much. But that's it for new releases. So it's time to let it go or take it with you.
Release it.
Take it with you.
Or just leave it there.
Just leave it there. That's right.
I need a drink for this.
You take that sip. I'll just stare at Party Corner.
Okay. Very excited.
Kizop or Drizzop with K
Kizop.
With K Drizzle. These are
Kevin?
A few show favorites, I would say.
Okay.
But not something we've done on Copper Drop yet, I do not believe. So here we go.
Oh, why? Why would you do that?
The upcoming Sabrina 2
wow.
that we covered last week, in case you guys missed that, check that out. And the Sabrina 1 Oreo, I guess we can call it.
Yeah, that works.
I think it did have a colorway name. I think it was like best. No, I don't remember the name of this one. My bad.
Double stuffed.
But I think one of the better colorways. There was also that kind of purple colorway. I wasn't sure which one to put up, but I figured
many of them now.
We liked the, yes. There's a ton. The duck color. You can buy the Oregon colorway right now. They're all, like you mentioned last week, they're all on sale with the upcoming release of the Sabrina 2.
Really good price.
Yeah, some of them, like some of the team colorways that are a little more basic, those are like 60% off, like you mentioned. But even the Oregon colorway, which I think is probably one of the cooler pairs,
for sure,
those are like 20% off. So pretty good deals.
I'll take any off.
Yeah,
not my clothes.
Different podcast.
Different podcast. Yeah, exactly. I mean, there are differences.
You can see
not too many.
You can see some of the inspiration though, and especially this is the inside part of the two. But on the outer part, you can see that they kind of kept some of this pattern work that they had on the one. Not as much, but you can see it even kind of back here how it has a similar vibe.
Yeah, and you can tell that because she's heavily involved in the process of making her shoes, so you can tell that she didn't want to go too far off from the first model, right?
Yeah.
Like we said, kind of a little more rounder on the first one.
Yes.
Second one, they dropped down the front a little bit.
And raised the tongue.
Raised the tongue also, yes. And I've been seeing a lot of pictures of people putting all the old Kobe 5 colorways on the 2. So I would imagine they're going to do some type of ode to Kobe because she loves, him as well.
Yeah.
And like I said last week, it does look like the Kobe 5 a lot. In this case...
I think, too, real quick, this downward swoosh has carried over from the inside of the Sabrina 1.
Of the one, she kept that, yeah.
I do really like that this cuts into the midsole. I think that's a cool touch.
That is a cool touch because it kind of separates it a little bit.
Yeah, and you get the mesh material kind of extended more than it would be normally. Very cool.
Also, a more solid swoosh as opposed to a stitched one with no middle.
No middle, yeah.
Which is, both cool though.
Very cool.
No, because that one's metallic. Can't go wrong with metallic.
Yeah.
For now, if I have to pick today.
We can come back to it. You want to go next week?
No, but for today, I'm gonna pick. I really can't get over how dope the 1 is. I gotta pick the 1.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm right in that same boat, and especially I think it was called like the Charge or Magnetic colorway. It was one of the earlier colorways. Those were super sick.
Super nice.
I think we'll see what this one grows into, especially with more colorways coming out. Because I don't think this is a bad colorway at all.
No.
But the Sabrina 1, there's something about it. There's a lot of, I think it's more intricate, but it all works really well. It doesn't seem too crazy. Like for me, a lot of the stuff on that Action Bronson pair and a lot of some of those New Balance running shoes, it seems like there's too many lines going all which way. A lot
of stuff going on.
But these, I think, all the intricacies kind of come together, and I think they build a really nice overall shoe.
Yeah, and like we said, a lot of NBA players are wearing it. A lot of athletes, college, high school are wearing these as their team shoe. Perfectly made for me. Very versatile too. I feel like I can wear that out with like a
I think you
tech
could.
fleece outfit, or a nice little casual outfit.
Tracksuit.
A little tracksuit action, Not Adidas though. Don't do that, guys.
Ew.
Don't do Adidas Nike. But that's a good copper. That's hard because we're gonna just continue to love this more as more colors come out.
As it comes out and all the colorways come out, I'm sure we're gonna have a good old time.
We'll have a gay old time.
Yep.
What cartoon is that?
I do not know. I do not remember.
I forgot.
Sounds somewhat familiar.
Yes.
Maybe Looney Tunes. But thank you for copying and dropping.
I did.
You did both of them.
It was hard.
Yeah.
To do.
It's time for the heat on the feet. And we're keeping it.
Ow.
You got some heat on today. I don't think I've seen you wear these yet. Maybe once when you first got the Jordan 4 breads.
We are Michael Jordan brothers today.
Yep. I'm Jeffrey.
Jeffrey Jordan. Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Oh yeah. Never mind.
That's his name.
Let's do those heat on the feet, and we'll keep it going with the ladies here. First up, maybe, I don't know if she was already, I was checking her stats. She previously had been awarded or got some votes for most improved, but definite candidate this year, Dearica Hamby for the Sparks. She's been killing it.
Shout out to her too. I don't know her too well as a WNBA player. Kind of a veteran, right?
Yeah, been around the block. Previously played for the Aces, and I think that's where
San Antonio, right? Too.
Yeah, well, San Antonio became the Aces.
That's right.
She kind of was a part of that transition. But yeah, she's been in the league since 2015. Mostly a bench player, seeing like limited minutes, 25-ish. This year though, so she even last year she was coming off the bench. Only averaging last year just under 9 points and 6 rebounds. This year so far through 7 games, 20 points and almost 13 rebounds. She is dominating out there.
Do they? I haven't seen, but do they play her with Cameron at the same time?
Yeah. So in
Twin Towers,
yesterday's game, which this is what that photo is from. They both started. So yeah, they got some height out there on the court. The Sparks. She is, of course, wearing her Tatum 2 PE, as we previously mentioned. I believe this one has the names of her children on it, so kind of a cool touch.
I love the combo. It's almost like a Suns, almost like a Suns colorway.
It's kind of like a peach plum kind of thing going on. Very cool colorway. I also, when I was looking at these photos, I love the WNBA ball. I think it's so cool.
I do too. It got better.
Yeah, I think so.
With the colors, for sure.
Kind of like the ABA ball, but a little bit different. Yeah. I really like it. I think it's a cool thing to have.
How do you personally, because I remember us talking about this, you like the Tatum 1 better than the 2?
Yeah.
So how do you feel about this Tatum 2 right here?
Here's a close-up of it.
Oh man, it's so nice. The materials are so cool. This is probably my favorite part.
There's some nice touches. Like, I like the 0 in the back. I like the stitched-in Jumpman. I don't know. I still like the Tatum 1 better. It hasn't grown on me. I think this kind of midsole thing that's happening is usually, it's too big for me. I think it detracts from some other parts of the shoe. Kind of reminds me of the Harden 8 a little bit. These two they always have these circle pad things there that kind of pop out from whatever the rest of the shoe is doing.
Right.
I don't know. I noticed too, if we go back one photo, if you look close, it kind of folds in a lot.
Oh,
right
yeah.
there.
In the
And
middle.
I've noticed that a lot whenever we're looking at the Tatum 2.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't been a fan too much.
That's crazy that you brought that up, because I know in the first shoe, the middle is almost like the sock liner and it's open, so you don't see that.
It's not. You're not going to notice.
Yeah.
I like that better, and I just like that it's kind of. It was more. It seems like the Tatum 1 is more flexible. I haven't worn these, but in the Tatum 1, it's like you really don't notice anything. It feels like nothing's on your foot.
It's one of the lightest basketball shoes for sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know how many ounces this one is, but it does look a little heavier, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just got to be with whatever. Even though I'm sure this is a very lightweight material, just adding that on as compared to the kind of Flyknit sock shoe
cement.
thing. It's whoa. Yeah, it just hasn't really hit for me.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Fair enough.
Third one will be here sooner rather than later, so
yeah, seriously,
be very interested to see
some point next season.
I don't know about you. I feel like I haven't noticed as many players wearing the Tatum 2 as compared to the Tatum 1. I feel like you saw a lot of Tatum 1s.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. And also, not as many teams anymore playing, so we won't see them. But
maybe starting next season.
Next season for sure.
Get a better idea. Dearica Hamby in this loss to the Sky from last night.
They lost.
Yeah, the 30th. 24 points, 13 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 steals on 9 of 19 shooting with 3 turnovers. The other Sparks highly touted rookie, Rakia Jackson, 10 points, 5 rebounds, 4 of 5 from the field. And then someone I hadn't heard of, Marina Mabry for the Sky. This is her 6th season. She had 20 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists.
Jeez.
She's been kind of on a tear the last 2 years. Last year she averaged 15 points, 3.5 assists, and 3 rebounds. And this year she's doing, so far, only through 6 games, she's doing even better. 17 points per game, 5 assists, and 6.5 rebounds on 40% shooting. So pretty good numbers for her.
We've been talking about the Sparks a good amount. I'm wondering why their record doesn't really represent how they like the players that they have. Like, because Cameron Brink is good, Dearica Hamby is good.
I think the rookies got to figure it out. Cameron Brink is a very talented player, and so is Rakia Jackson. But it seems like across the board, except for Kaylin Clark, a lot of the rookies that I know are struggling. Kate Martin, who I believe got picked by the Sun. The Aces, excuse me. She was a late pick, good defender, but hasn't been seeing a ton of playing time. Nika Mule, who was the lead defender for the Huskies last season, hasn't been seeing a lot of playing time for the Storm. Angel Reese has been playing pretty well.
That's
nothing too crazy from her either. Same with Cameron Brink, lots of playing time there. I think it's just, I think it is a tough adjustment for the rookies to come into the professional league.
True.
And I think in particular, underestimated how difficult that could be. I kind of thought that the talent level overall in the WNBA was going to be more comparable to the NCAA, but I think there's just so many more players in the NCAA that the talent is more dispersed.
Spread
and
out,
now
right.
you concentrate it down to, I think, what is this, 10 teams?
Right.
12. So it's like every team is way more talented, 1 through 15, than any college teams. And I didn't really think about that. So I think for a team like the Sparks, they're pretty young, and they've lost a few players in the last few years. So
can you do like a compared to a NBA team for the people out there?
Maybe like
Thunder,
but from a few years ago
when they were
like,
just not ready yet.
Yeah, because Rakia Jackson has been, I think, maybe playing better than even Cameron Brink. She just seems more game ready. But once those two reach their potential, poof.
Look out.
Sparks are going to be really good.
Yeah.
And also the top level teams are just really good. The Liberty, the Sun, and the Aces, of course.
Aces is probably just not fair.
It's just not fair. No.
It's not fair.
Even, of course, you have the Mercury, who haven't been playing well. They're 3-4, but I mean,
a team to look out
Diana
for.
Taurasi, and they're doing it. Kalia Cooper is obviously, or Copper, excuse me, is really good. And then they're doing it without Brittany Griner right now. She hasn't played this season, so once she comes back, forget about it.
But when I looked up Dearica Hamby, she went to Wake Forest, I believe.
Shout out Tim Duncan.
She was a monster. She averaged 20 points, like 11 or 13 boards. In college, that's crazy.
Yeah, no, it's nuts. And she's really, again, she's popping off this year, and she's finally has that starting role. She wasn't starting last year for the Aces.
Good for her.
Here we go, though. On to the next pair that you sent me. A very cool pair by none other than Caitlin Clark, who is going up against Jewel Lloyd and the Grinches.
Against her old team, the Oregon Ducks.
The Oregon Ducks?
No, just kidding.
Wrong player.
But, I mean, one of my favorite Kobe of all time, the Kobe 5.
And this is the Bruce Lee
alternate
colorway. She's been wearing the standard Bruce Lee a lot.
What she loves.
Which matches, the Iowa colors from where she came from.
Yes.
So this is a cool way to switch it up, I think.
Just obviously a beautiful model. Came out 10 years after the original Bruce Lee. The original Bruce Lee, like you said, was yellow and black and came out for his movie Game of Death, where he wore the yellow and black jumpsuit.
Yes,
super iconic.
Yeah.
And yeah, she always shows her love for Kobe as well, just like a lot of WNBA players do. Strictly Kobe's.
Yes.
It's all she wears.
Until she gets her own shoe, because it's coming.
It's coming. But she is also, she struggled a little bit in the beginning, but she is now kind of settled in a little bit.
The Fever are at the bottom of the league thus far, but yeah, she's finding her way. Here's a close-up of those. There's the scratches. Yep.
How do you like them, dude?
They're really tight.
They're crazy.
The red outline on the check is such a sweet touch. Yeah, they're really good. Which do you prefer, the alternate or the standard?
I would only be saying the standard just because of the history and it's the first one, but I like this one better.
Looks alone, this is, I think, gotta take it.
Just looks, yeah.
Although the regular is actually, it's super nice too.
They're fine. Yeah. No, they're great. I would love to own
especially
both.
As like a Lakers fan, yellow and black, kind of Lakers colors.
Yeah.
This was against the Storm when she last laced them up. She's kind of switched back to. She had that red pair of Kobe's. I don't know if you saw that she's been
All-Star
playing recently.
6s.
Yes. That's what been her shoe of choice for the last few games to look like. But this was on May 22nd. The Fever lost by 2 against the Storm. 21 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists. Damn. 2 blocks and 3 turnovers on 6 of 16 shooting. 7 of 9 from the field for Caitlin Clark. Jewel Lloyd, who was in our previous picture, 32 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 steals. This put the Fever, I think, at 0-5 when they lost this one, and they got their first win a few days later against the Sparks. And the Fever are sitting at the bottom of the league, 1-8 currently.
Well, gotta work your way up.
Got to work your way up.
We spoke about that for that one win recently, or briefly. That was almost a buzzer beater type game, right?
Yes, yeah, it was a close. There's been some close games for them, yeah. Caitlin Clark is leading the league in 3-point field goals and field goal attempts. Not shooting it too great from there. She's not in the top 20 for 3-point percentage, but I'm sure that number will continue to rise.
What's her season averages so far?
Let me tell you, so far she is averaging 17 points per game, 6 assists, 5 rebounds per game. So really great stats. Just not shooting it well. 37% from the field and 32% from 3. So once those bump up, once she gets her rhythm, it's going to be dangerous.
Yeah, I was just going to say that all those stats are going to go up eventually.
She leads the league in total assists as well, but the Fever have also played like a ton more games than most teams. Yeah. So she'll get there. She's going to be good. Have no fear.
Again, only 9 games in. So
last up here for Heat on the Feet, we got the Cat shoes here, which we had to figure out what exactly they were.
Nice choice and nice little callback, throwback.
These were from the last game of the Western Conference Finals, Game 5, and he is wearing the Nike GT Jump 2 in I guess probably a PE, inspired by Tim Duncan's Total Foamposite Max Silver.
All the OG heads, you will remember the shoe when you see it. It's a super iconic, super silver shoe.
Super metallic-y.
Mm-hmm. Tim Duncan used to just kill foos in this.
Tim Duncan, man, one of the greatest of all times. I don't know if you saw.
Not talked about enough.
He had this great interview with Richard Jefferson.
Yeah.
That was so funny,
it's the
man.
best. He looks like he's so happy he retired too, right? Like he's like his second half of his life.
He seems happy that he retired, and he seems pissed to be hanging out with Richard Jefferson. Yeah. He said his go-to karaoke song was "Baby Got Back." I would pay a lot of money to see that. Yeah.
I wonder if he still has his tongue ring too.
I forgot about that. Very cool colorway though. There were some cool shoes. No, I thought that was a Sabrina one. No, it's a Kobe.
It is a Kobe that is coming out next spring.
Wonder why
we will
I
talk
got
about
confused. I also saw, I think, PJ Washington was wearing the Kobe 6 Italian camo, which I've seen a few of those throughout the playoffs. Ant had one of his greatest colorways. I think it was the pink pair of the AA1s. And then I think Derek Lively had a cool pair of Luka 2s. So some good shoes in this last game for the Western Conference Finals. Cat, this is the thing, we were kind of talking about with our friends, and I was talking about with my dad before you got here, that Cat did show up. But at least in this game, the more I look at it, I'm like, I don't know if you showed up at the right time.
That's exactly what that is.
He finished the game with 28 points, 12 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, a block, and 2 turnovers. 9 of 20 from the field, 9 of 10 from the line, and only 1 of 6 from downtown. He went 4 for 10 in the entire second half. So he was, 5 for 10 in the first half? That's a big difference. Even though it's only 1 shot off, it's like you just need more. And 1 for 6 from downtown is not great. Especially he took 4 threes in the second half. So I think Luka going off in the first quarter kind of derailed the whole Minnesota team. They did not look in sync or had any fight that whole second half. They just looked demoralized. So I wonder if that had anything to do with it. Anthony Edwards was trying his best, but he wasn't as aggressive as the last game, which I liked. That's the problem, I think, because statistically, if I read you off his stats, he had a pretty decent game. 28 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, 10 for 18 from the field, which is great. 6 for 9 in the second half. Again, good shooting percentage. I need you probably to double your volume.
Yes.
As the go-to guy.
Yes.
And he had been really good about, even if he was having, like, against the Nuggets, if he was shooting it poorly, he kept shooting it. And, like, when you're the guy, and especially if your second guy is Cat, who is just going to be hit or miss so often, you need to keep going. Like, you can't be taking only 9 shots in the second half of an elimination game, I think, personally.
I agree.
But like you mentioned, Luka, he finished with 36 points and 10 rebounds. 25 first half points for Luka. So
I was watching that first quarter. He could not miss.
Him and Kyrie. And you know what? He was... I read before the game, there was a fan courtside, for a Minnesota fan, that brought a handkerchief and was waving it at Luka, saying he cries to the refs. And so Luka just was... that guy... You made your team lose. You caused it.
In the words of Kobe to Spike Lee, this was your fault.
Your fault.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't wake up the... Luka's one of those... Kyrie's one of those guys, too. You don't wake them up, dude. Like
Luka more so than any player of recent memory, though.
Yeah.
Where, like...
Because he likes to talk back.
Because, like, Clay likes to talk back, but he'll have a bad game and he'll still talk, which, you know, some people respect that. I saw a lot of people getting on in the comments getting on Halliburton for only talking when they're up. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If you're winning, why?
You shouldn't be talking if you're losing.
Yeah, you got nothing to say. So
Exactly.
I think that makes sense. Clay talks even when he's having a terrible game and they're losing. I can respect that. But Luka, when you get him going, he has so consistently been like, I'm gonna talk smack to you, and I'm gonna back it up and win this game that I'm not supposed to. Like we were talking about again yesterday, that Phoenix series, the year after the Suns made it to the finals and they were favored to win. You know, they lost at home in Game 7 to pretty much just Luka. This man is like one of the greatest winners already.
Yeah,
he's getting there. If he wins the championship,
I was just gonna say I'm glad that all these great players who haven't really necessarily made it to the top yet are getting there now. So, you know, Tatum's obviously been there. It's nice to see Luka in the final now.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
See him get like an MVP for the Western Conference Finals.
Yes.
Is that named after Kobe?
No, Magic Johnson.
Magic.
Yes.
Kobe's is the finals.
No, MVP. It's the All-Star.
Oh, the
MVP.
All-Star one.
Bill Russell, the Bill Russell Trophy has been the Finals MVP for a while, even before he passed.
Eastern is that Larry Bird?
Larry Bird,
okay.
Yeah. And the regular season MVP is the Michael Jordan. MVP.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
The Defensive Player of the Year is the Hakeem Olajuwon Award, and I think the Rookie of the Year is the Wilt Chamberlain Award.
You sure it's not the Darrell Arthur?
It might be Darrell Arthur. It's one of the two. I get them confused all the time.
Yeah.
Darrell Arthur and Wilt Chamberlain. They're like one and the same to me.
You gotta put them side by
Clutch
side.
Player of the Year is Jerry West.
Yes.
And then I have no clue what sixth man is. It should be Lou Will or Jamal Crawford.
Yeah. Seriously though.
Lamar Odom. Probably not, but
yeah.
I think it also, you know who it should be, especially now? I mean, it would be awkward because they just started doing these new names like 2 years ago, but they should change it to the Bill Walton.
Yeah.
Because he famously won Sixth Man of the Year for the Celtics after all of those horrific ankle injuries, and now that he's passed, and
rest in peace to Big Red, the legend.
Yes.
Also,
one of the most fun NBA personalities ever. I obviously neither of us watched him play, but man, such a cool guy. One of my favorite broadcasters. Like whenever he was on the mic,
colorful as hell.
Yes, he always said something out of pocket, and it was always great.
But hearing all the people talk about him now that he's passed, they all say the same thing, that he was just full of life. You can see it even if you don't know him. Just the way he talked, like you said, how he announces games. He definitely didn't take anything for granted, and it's just something to look up to for sure.
The NBA posted I thought it was a very touching post where they did kind of this hand-drawn style, sketch style animation to a story that he told about after he won the 1977 championship, I believe, with the Blazers. He was staying, I think, at Lionel Collins' house, I think he said. And he woke him up and was like, hey, well, let's go to the parade. And he's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, they're throwing a parade for us. Like, let's go. And he took his bike, Bill Walton, and someone stole it from him during when he got to the parade. He just got like rushed by all the fans, and
someone took it.
He said it was great, but he said he was bummed that he lost his bike. But it was a very cool story and very wholesome and animation and stuff. It was very cool.
Yeah, one of the stories I heard that was cool was when he got drafted, he was hitchhiking.
That guy was the ultimate hippie, man.
Sounds very Bill Walton.
Very on brand.
Yeah.
I saw a cool anecdote too that John Wooden, who famously coached Bill Walton, was a very conservative guy, and obviously Bill Walton was an extremely liberal guy.
Yeah.
But despite their political differences, Bill Walton, he got arrested for protesting the Vietnam War during his time at UCLA. John Wooden came and bailed him out.
Yeah, awesome.
So very cool.
I'm sure they had like a
very
father-son
special relationships. Yeah, I would imagine.
And a quick stat for you. How about his? How about his NCAA championship stats?
Crazy. 3-0 and like
the latest
88 win streak or something crazy
88
like that.
win streak. The last championship, he was 21 for 22, I think, or 21 for 23.
Oh.
And they took away 3 baskets because he dunked and it wasn't allowed yet.
What? Yeah, they took away dunking. It's crazy. What a crazy time.
Dominant. Now that's just dominant, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just cool stories from my dad. He would talk about him too. He was like, oh, he was so good. Just injured.
He's one of those players that's going to go down in history as like, oh, you had to be there.
Yeah,
like, you had to see it with your own eyes. So rest in peace. I believe that's it for the Sneaks and Stats boys today. End on a good note, I'd say.
Yeah, and I just had one last question for you. 2, actually.
Oh, God. All right.
Last 2 questions. First one, who do you have in the NBA Finals?
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to take the Celtics. It's been nice knowing you. I just think that Drew Holiday and Derek White are just going to be giving Kyrie problems. Not that he can't solve them, but like that's just a tough battle. Drew Holiday is a big guard, and he's still one of the best defenders in the league. Same with Derek White, who has grown to become a very, very good defender. It's going to be difficult. I think he's going to be held to under 20 points some games.
Okay,
I still think Luka will get his, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's probably the Celtics are just so stacked.
How I see it is like you have their two best defenders really in all defensive in the NBA with Derek White and Drew Holiday, and then you still have Brown and Tatum, who are offensively crazy,
and they're both decent defenders.
Yeah, and then you have a veteran presence of Horford, who also does a lot.
Yeah, Horford and KP
Stacked,
in the whole are really their problems.
Yeah,
and even honestly, Sam Hauser is pretty decent. Peyton Pritchard always seems to just come in and score like 12 points in a row, and then goes and sits for 20 minutes, like JJ Barea style.
Celtics in
6.
Yeah,
I think it'll be 6.
Okay.
Like you kind of mentioned earlier, like Luka and Kyrie are maybe the best pair of closers in the NBA right now, and maybe in the NBA for a long time. And I think that's something they have over Tatum and Brown. But honestly, I feel like Drew Holiday and Derek White are also clutch. Even like in those moments, they don't seem to miss when they're supposed to make a big shot.
Yeah.
Even if the play is not designed for them, I think honestly their clutch genes could come in play. But we'll see. It's going to be fun. Love the finals no matter what, even if those damn dirty Celtics do end up winning and getting their 18th title to break our tie with them that we have currently.
I can already hear it from or see it on all social medias from the Celtics fans if they win one more.
It's going to be brutal.
God.
Bill Simmons' podcast is going to be brutal.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He's already talking crazy stuff. And one last before we go, what is your shoe of the first half of 2024? It's going into summer now.
I was thinking about this the other day because there was a post from Nice Kicks teasing what might be my shoe of the year. But I was like, well, technically the shoe came out last year, but I think the full release was this year. It's got to be the AE1.
Oof.
They again, kind of weird because I think there was the first pair, that kind of orange pair, was released I think last fall, but there wasn't really another release until this year with a more full release of the team colorways and stuff like that.
And then he just kept dropping them as
Crazy
the playoffs went on.
colorways, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Probably my shoe of the year so far.
Great pick, bro, because a lot of people are calling that shoe of the year already.
Yeah, we'll see. It's really nice.
It's
and
top 3 in basketball shoes, I would have to say.
It's versatile, I think, too. You see people trying to wear it, bring back the basketball shoes and street clothes.
It's because of that shoe.
I think it's working, personally.
Shout out Wale.
But yeah, what's your shoe?
I think so far, it's probably going to have to be the Futura Dunk.
Yeah, those are
that
crazy.
That thing is wild.
Those things are nuts.
The Friends and Family pair is
especially was
insane
crazy.
too.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to go with that so far. We got 6 more months, but just wanted to ask you because we're going into the hot months. Summer.
It is summertime.
It is going to be very fun. Lots of shorts and maybe some ankle socks.
That's right. Get my booties on.
Foodie booties.
Yes.
But thank you guys for watching episode 48. We will see you guys next week on the Flippity Flappity. but also.
But really.